have this old PC case that is over 15 years old, and it had just been sitting there in storage. So I decided to gut it and repurpose it for a 4K editing workstation. Here are the components that I was planning on using, but as I planned in my head, it didn't work out in reality, and I had to change this up a little bit, and you'll see that later in this video. I'm going to be using a couple of different pieces of footage. One from my Chinese-made 4K camcorder. It's a little bit over $100 with all its accessories, and a Dragon Touch, also Chinese 4K action cam. I'm going to be switching back and forth between both footage. I don't have much time to get these things done, or don't really plan them out. Just wing them as I go along. My original intention was to make it to edit and be able to connect all sorts of media to it, and as well as being a burning tower for me after I was completed with my video editing projects. I had to adjust and then buy whole brand new components. So even though this was $800 and under the budget that I had, because I added all these fancy components and extra pieces, storage and RAM, it ballooned up to $1,400. And here I'm trying to figure out why the fan, the heatsink, does not fit. And oh, that's because you need to remove the mounting brackets. Oh. Put a big old glob of thermal paste on it, Arctic. Make a little tadpole design there, and then voila, fan worked fine. It came with it. It's one of those Wraith Stealth coolers. I'll end up replacing that. And this is the RAM, the CORSAIR VENGEANCE 32 gigabyte kit, 3200 megahertz speed. Trying to fit it into this old 15-year-old case, making sure I got the screws where they need to be. And where the floppy bay is, I'm going to plan on putting a couple of media hubs on there. One with 2.0 USBs and FIREWIRE and media card reader connections, along with a 2-port 3.0 USB with audio connections for an input of mic and headphones. This is the GPVHOSO NVIDIA GTX 1050 Ti 4GB GPU. They claim to have an agreement with NVIDIA and AMD, or excuse me, with Radeon, and they claim to just go straight to their websites for the drivers. This worked straight out the box, and I didn't have to fish for drivers. They simply found it for me because I was using a Linux operating system, which I'll talk about later. PCI slot covers. Looking to use more connections. I have a 4-port 3.0 USB PCI card, a FIREWIRE 1394 card, and a Wi-Fi TP-Link NIC card. So part of the reason I need that FIREWIRE is simple. It connects an old Canon GL2 that I have and I still use for some of my video productions. Just basic needs like collecting behind the scenes footage or interviews with models and actresses. So it still serves its purpose, and believe it or not, that Canon GL2 is still the most professional camera that I have here in this house. Those Chinese-made cameras that claim 4K aren't all that special. As you can see here, everything was used with those Chinese 4K cameras and quality tells. So if you want something simple that'll just shoot your videos at home, then this will work out for you. But if you need it for something more professional, I highly recommend you spend the money for a better camcorder or a prosumer camera like Sony, Canon, Panasonic. The brand names are usually the best ones, and that's why they cost that much. But you could find yourself a good 4K camera for under $1,000 nowadays. I know the Sonys, they have gimbals inside of their camcorders. I think it's called Zeiss or Weiss, I'm not sure, but that's definitely an option for me moving forward. As far as doing my professional work, I have to borrow my coworker's camera, her Panasonic. So I'm completing the motherboard and all its components. I'm going to skip on putting the optical drives in there since half of them didn't work. And I had an additional issue where when I went to start this up, it did not turn on. And I was worried, but I found out that perhaps using a super old power supply wasn't a good idea. Using the TeamGroup T-Force VULCAN SSDs. Originally I only had 2 1 terabyte each, and I expanded to add 2 more, so now it's a total of 4 terabytes. I threw in another TeamGroup Creators SSDs, both of them also 1 terabyte. And here's where I'm inserting both media hubs into the floppy bays there. I use those for multiple things, to stick in my headphones, to put in my mic, plug in all my mic, and the SD cards that come out of the cameras. This is usually where I stick everything. It also serves as a charging hub. I charge up my cameras and tablets with this as well. I decided against getting Windows simply because I just didn't want to pay for a license. And after doing a lot of searching on Linux, and my research came to Linux Mint Cinnamon. So later on, this fan will be replaced, this heatsink that came with it. The AMD version one. So here it is, upgraded with new LED fan heatsink, doubled the RAM. I added 2 more CORSAIRs 32GB kit for a total of 64GB RAM, 3200 megahertz speed all across the board. I also added a Pioneer Blu-ray burner to go along with the LG dual layer burner that I have in there already. 4 optical drives turned into 2. Here's the front side. Got a 7-port USB media hub as well. Dual optical drives, one by Pioneer and the other by LG. This cute little drawer that I adore just to stick my little USBs and cables and batteries in. I love horror, I love sci-fi. If it's entertaining, I'm definitely watching it. I like my build to stand out a little bit, so that's why these things always seem to resemble a skateboard with all these silly little stickers all over it. It's just a way to put the things that I like on it and to kind of go along with its theme. This is a video editing terminal, so it's got a lot of stuff dealing with entertainment. Shot from the back, you see the Wi-Fi, FIREWIRE, USBs, the HDMIs, the I/O panel, back of the PSU. Silent machine, actually. It doesn't make much noise. The oldest fan, the silver one that's in the rear, is the loudest fan on it. Otherwise, it's fairly silent. I don't really hear it. Just hear the humming of the wind. If you guys want, I'll make a little video of my mini fridge there with all the lewd magnets that I have on it. The whole I love horror theme, and I'm a big fan of soda pops. That mini fridge is usually filled with soda pop. The full specs on this 4K editing computer are as follows. It is an AsRock B540 Pro 4 motherboard, a Ryzen 5 1600, 6 cores, 12 threads, 65-watt CPU, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti 4GB GPU, 2 32GB kits of CORSAIR VENGEANCE RAM, 3200 megahertz. That's megahertz, not gigahertz like my last video. I apologize for that. RGB LED kit by AIRgoo, AIRgoo. Heatsink, adapters, cables. I had issues with the power supply, so I replaced it with another one that was in another build, a 600-watt high power PSU, and it turned this on just fine. Hopefully it's somehow helpful for you in making your decisions and buying products, especially with that GPU that gets a bad reviews on Amazon, but works fine for me. relax at night in the dark with just the TV on. Pretty fancy. I like it. Little light show. I'm going to leave you guys with that. Sign off from here. Wishing everyone blessings. Stay well. Be safe in these crazy times. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao, friends.